Right, it is the 16th of April, the fourth month of the year 2024. Good morning, and thank you for joining us here on KUTV Kenya. This is KUTV Rise Today, the best morning breakfast show that you could be tuning in to every Monday and Tuesday morning to set a successful tone for the rest of your week's business or work. Welcome to Biashara Tuesday. Use the hashtag Biashara Tuesday, hashtag Rise Today to communicate with us on where you are watching us from and also on your reactions to the various stories and the discussions that we will be sharing here on the set all the way to 10 a.m. So, first things first, kama ulinibia trench coat, umenifanyia makosa sana because it's really cold in Nairobi and its environs, and it's likely to be so for the next couple of weeks. So therefore, please do stay warm, because as well, doctors are still on strike. The Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentist Union plus clinical officers have been on strike for several weeks now, a combined total of a couple of weeks stretching into the second month now. And they're insisting that no amount of threats or intimidation will see them relent from this quest to see the 2017 collective bargaining agreement with the government be implemented ASAP. The posting of intern doctors and also the remuneration issues which have been highlighted there in the CBA. KMPDU has actually now sued the IG, the Inspector General of Police, Japhet Koome, over his remarks on Sunday, who termed the doctors as a nuisance with the noise and the vuvuzelas that they keep blowing in the streets. In fact, across counties, governors have threatened to sack most of these doctors and replace them. A number of institutions, including the KUTTRH, has already fired or has already hired foreign doctors to replace these striking doctors. So which way for healthcare in this country as patients still continue to suffer? In the meantime, KMPDU, which has insisted from the very onset that it's just joining the government on strike, and in the same spirit, in fact, for this matter, in the same Holy Spirit, the doctors have joined the government in praying for patients and also for the welfare of this republic. Some of them in Eldoret and the streets of Nakuru were pictured yesterday coming together in a circle to offer prayers to the government and to the patients, just as the First Lady of the Republic, Rachel Ruto, was doing just a few days back. So just as our leaders, so are the citizens. Ni kusaidiana tu. In another rare display of kusaidiana that I've noticed, which happened one in China and another one in Kirinyaga County. So we begin with China, where Beijing authorities are now investigating Sunday's Beijing half marathon after a footage showed online 3 Kenyans appearing to slow down near the finish line to allow a Chinese He Ji to overtake them and to win. He won in a time of 1 hour, 3 minutes and 44 seconds, just a second ahead of Ethiopian Dejene and 3 Kenyans who were all tying in second position. So that is kusaidiana, which happened over in China. Investigations currently ongoing to determine exactly the accuracy of this footage. In Kirinyaga, KWS happened to have shot down a hippo, and this was a meal shared with the Kirinyaga residents. So this is Kenyans. Clearly it shows that tunapenda kukula pamoja, be it in Beijing or in Kirinyaga, or as the doctors are joining the government in strike and in offering prayers for the rest of the Kenyans. It's all a spirit of togetherness. So we are trying to look at all of these stories throughout this show, and we'll be also highlighting some of these ones in the newspaper review section later on with Nick Mwadime Mwangi and one other interesting guest who is a deputy president of the TVET Student Association. That discussion will happen here from the happenings in the Beijing half marathon, as well to the striking doctors, who also will be showcasing as a discussion on the healthcare crisis in the Republic. Some good news for you as you head out to your week. The shilling, which has been gaining strongly against the dollar, is currently at $1 to 131 Kenyan shillings. As a result, there's a couple of things that Kenyans are looking to benefit in the coming few days. Now, in this month of April, Kenyans will enjoy cheaper electricity following price reduction. A statement from Kenya Power on Monday attributed this drop to the strengthening of the shilling. And this is how the figures are looking like. For customers who are consuming less than 30 units per month, they will enjoy a 13.7% reduction, which will see them pay around 629 Kenyan shillings, down from 729 shillings for the same amount of units they were consuming in March. For customers who are consuming an average of 31 to 100 units, they will pay 1,500, down from 1,700, representing 11.2%. Those under other tariffs, which are over 100 units per month, will also see a reduction of 9.7%. Elsewhere, EPRA has also reviewed the prices of petroleum products in the Republic. Super petroleum dropping by as much as 5 Kenyan shillings across all the locations in the country. Diesel dropping by around 10 Kenyan shillings, and we're seeing that kerosene prices have also dropped by as much as 15 to 18 Kenyan shillings. So super petrol previously 199, new prices 193. Diesel previously 190 and now 180, and kerosene from 188 to 170, just respectively, as I said there. So enjoy and smile. The shilling is strengthening, prices of electricity are going down, and the prices of fuel products as well are going down. Does this signal a positive turnaround in the economic situation? I'd love to hear the sentiments of one man who's been very vehemently against the operations of the Kenya Kwanza government, that is Nick Mwadime Mwangi. I'd love to hear if he thinks that we are finally showing some signs of positivity given the recent drop in prices of various products in the Republic as well. We'll be discussing matters of green environment and as well as green jobs, and having that discussion with the chairperson of the Youth Green Society, that is Dennis Kimani. He informs me that there's a lot of activity happening from the United Nations Environmental Program through its Global Opportunities for SDGs, that is Global Opportunities for SDG initiative. The Green Jobs for Youth Pact is a collaborative initiative by the International Labour Organization and the UNEP as well as the UNICEF, and this is supposed to bring together employers, governments, youth, and education partners in trying to tackle jobs in the green space. So how can you benefit, and exactly what is happening in this high-level roundtable discussion, which is supposed to happen on 17th of April 2024. Dennis Kimani is actually already on the show with us, and we'll be with him in just a short while to have that kind of discussion before we delve deep into other happenings of business across the Republic. I have a question for you this morning. If an emergency happened to you, how much of financial savings do you have, and how long could they last you? It is given by financial experts that you should have something to cover you for at least 3 months to as much as 9 months. So how much money do you have saved, or do you have set aside? How much of your assets, or how much do you think you can leverage to ensure that you can survive for 3 to 9 months in case of an emergency? And this is especially to those who are working a job and are receiving a salary at the end of every month. So how much do you have set aside, even for business people? How much do you have set aside? Let me know how much that can last you on the comment sections at KUTV Kenya. We are streaming live as well. YouTube, KUTV Kenya, and all social platforms under the same name, on my personal handles as well, at Richard_Kenya. This is a show all about business, the economy, politics, and everything in between. So tune in for exciting conversations, reactions, and of course, sampling your feedback as we go along. Don't go too far. I'm just going to look at what is happening in your roads. Ma3 route informs me of the traffic and transport conditions in the city and the environs. Alafu, we come back and have that discussion with Dennis Kimani on youth who can get jobs through the green space. So don't go far. All these opportunities and discussions are coming back to you. Let's kick off this show. All right, so let's get to the weather updates first of all on what you can expect in the coming few days. Where I'm at, which is in the Nairobi region and its environs. Today it's going to be mostly cloudy and chances of rain at 5%. So it's likely to start raining at about 2 p.m. all the way till midnight. So till midnight, and then it stops and picks up again tomorrow from around the same time at 2 p.m. So today and tomorrow expect rains from around 2 p.m. The temperatures are going to be currently at 17 degrees Celsius, and it feels like 17 degrees Celsius. It's really cold, and we're expecting highs of about 25 to 26 degrees Celsius today. It's going to rain today, tomorrow, and as well Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, next week, Monday, Tuesday. It's going to rain in the next few weeks. So be prepared for that kind of weather, dress warmly, and also be careful on those roads when it's raining. Do drive carefully. Floods have affected so many households. In the report that I have here from the Kenya Red Cross, they've announced that 16 counties have experienced the effects from March to April and will experience this all the way to May, with a total of 17,445 households being affected by this ongoing heavy rains. They've also reported that 511 livestock deaths and 48 businesses have been affected. We've also lost a number of lives which are being quantified as we are speaking. So stay safe also at home. Please ensure that you're evacuating from areas which are high flood prone regions. That's quite a tongue twister for me there. But ensure that you're staying safe even as we're experiencing these heavy rains. So let's see what is happening on your roads as well. And then we get that information for you as you prepare for your work and day this morning. From Thika Road, kumeshikana sana. When you're getting to Ngara, all the way to town, ni heri ushuke alafu utembe. That's what Eric Kenya 1 anasema heri ushuke alafu utembe to town. That's what is happening. Radar images are showing heavy hourly rains exceeding 45 millimeters of rain in Mount Kenya region. So visibility is expected to be affected in the regions of Mount Kenya and Nairobi. Mombasa Road, KUTV, saizi asubuhi. We don't know what is going to happen in the next few, but looking good. Outer Ring Road is very poorly designed. Tutalia hadi lini? That is Kaptuwai SK asking, as he is stuck in traffic in Outer Ring Road. GM, Enterprise Road towards GM, kuko flooded. Tunapitia wapi jameni? That is Irene K on Twitter also complaining from those sides. So apparently pitia Mombasa Road, ukitoka hizo sides utasaidika, lakini the flooding, I don't know how much I can help you out there. Kipchumba Murkomen CS showed up on media saying that the flooding on the expressway was because of late litter collection that happened, and therefore there's nothing wrong there. There's no poor design. Ilikuwa shida kidogo, and motorists should enjoy using that way. I don't know. Wale watumizi wa expressway, tuambie, what do you think about that, and also about the collection of waste which has blocked the drainage? I'd love to hear what the sentiments of one Dennis Kimani are when it comes to those issues of the environment. Any other roads? No updates, which means maybe kunakaa vizuri, but do let us know if you're out there. Kunakaje where you're at. Alternative routes that people can use as well. I'll have to advise people on how fast they can get to work, but also how safe they can get to work. Arrive early. That's the message to us here, from us here to you in this traffic update. Going to bring Dennis Kimani here for that conversation on the high-level roundtable discussion in support of the Kenyan government's plan to establish a green pact towards the actualization of the green economy. Jobs, 1 million plus jobs in terms of green jobs in the space of the environment. How can 10,000 young entrepreneurs tap into this and start their businesses as well? That conversation is coming to you. This is Biashara Tuesday. in the spirit of eco-friendliness and also trying to look at the environment and the opportunities, we are here to also get you information on Ubunifu Eco-Train Movement, which is a dynamic coalition of 30 youth-led environmental organizations, and they are trying to change the damage. That's their collective mission. In this mission, they're also trying to foster a sustainable transformation within Nairobi and its environs, just like the Youth Green Society has been trying to do. And we're slowly getting to that World Earth Day, and they've prepared here an event on the 20th of April 2024 that is going to happen in Lucky Summer. How can we advocate for a plastic-free Nairobi so that issues such as the ones I've mentioned on the expressway do not happen, so that our leaders aren't continuously blaming that on the incompetency or the issues that we're facing in various places of service delivery, but also job opportunities. Green Pact is a conversation we're having, 1.2 million jobs from the Kenyan government in partnership with UNEP and also other stakeholders, and Ubunifu Hub being a key stakeholders in matters of the environment. The Eco-Train movement is already on its way. How can you tap in? And also, how can you celebrate World Earth Day with Ubunifu Hub? That conversation is coming to you as well. I'll be giving you more details on that. Joining me on the newspaper review section, I told you already, the MKUSA Executive Director. MKUSA is the Mount Kenya Colleges University Students Association. The director for that association, the National Executive Director, Nick Mwadime Mwangi, will be here, accompanied by Margaret Kiune, who is the Deputy President of the TVET Student Association. We'll be delving into the headlines of the day and also reacting and responding and predicting what you can expect politics to influence in your areas of work and business in the coming few days. So don't go too far. Those conversations will be with you in just a short while. And we are beginning with Dennis Kimani of the Youth Green Society. All right, we're just having a small chat here with Dennis Kimani. Let me just allow him to greet us once again. I think you're a man who doesn't need any introduction anymore here on Biashara Tuesday, but please greet the people, and then we can get into this conversation on how people can get jobs and also take care of the environment.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dennis Kimani, chairman of the fastest growing youth society in Kenya, Youth Green Society. I'm always humble to be at KUTV. My pleasure.
All right. Deno, on 17th of April, 2024, yes. That is tomorrow, there is a high-level roundtable discussion.
Yes.
Can you please let us in first on the details of this high-level roundtable discussion, and then we can get to know how this is benefiting the youth in terms of the green economy agenda in getting them jobs of up to 1.2 million jobs a year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Richard. It's nice seeing you this morning.
Nice to see you too.
You look awesome.
Thank you.
The United Nations High Table delegation will be kickstarting tomorrow. The delegation is all about how it will be supporting the Kenyan government to improve the better plan on reaching 1 million jobs and above. These are green jobs. When you say green jobs, these are jobs that are going to be environmentally friendly, eco-friendly, and they are going to reduce the pollution of environment. Yes.
So when you're speaking matters of green jobs, what are these examples of the jobs that people can think about that will be as a result of this kind of discussion?
Green jobs are running from innovation, they are running from technical and even practical jobs. We are having people who are in the technical areas who are making ideas, they are coming up with plans, they are coming up with creativity and even documentation of projects. We are also having green innovators. These are people who are coming up with new skills, new items to be used, recycled materials, and also we are having the practical people who are in the environment. These are even the waste pickers. Those people who are going to collect waste and weigh in for some cash. These are very important people in the value chain of waste management.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm seeing here that in the Green Jobs for Youth Pact, there's going to be 3 tracks, which is 1, employment and entrepreneurship. You've already hinted on that, which is people coming up with ideas, be it in being creative with the environment in terms of art or even technical skills in the environmental space, and entrepreneurship, coming up with innovations. I see that they will be supporting up to 10,000 or 10,000 plus young green entrepreneurs. So that's employment and entrepreneurship. What about education and green skills? What can we expect in that kind of regard?
For the pact, it is not going only to be about creation of jobs. It's also about how it will be creating skills and development of ideas. You know, a lot of people can have skill. When we develop a lot of people to have the skills, they can be innovators in the value chain. And when people are skillful, they can even add value to something that is waste to you. You know what you're saying in the value chain of waste management. What is waste to you is a resource to me. And actually, when you look at the NEMA, how material recovery, they are saying that we are using the waste from that person to be a resource to this company, and that is the only way green entrepreneurship will be happening. Yes.
So we educate people that what they have as waste is needed elsewhere as a resource for business or for the
raw material.
Yes, for raw materials in terms of entrepreneurship, as we've mentioned there, and also employment for other people. The third one, which I was interested in, and I'm sure the Youth Green Society is very keen on, is youth partnerships. How is this going to look like in the Green Jobs for Youth Pact?
I think you can see I am having a badge.
Yes, SDG champion.
Yes.
Okay.
The SDG 17 is about partnership. All the 17 SDGs, from no hunger, no poverty, they're ending at one thing: partnership. The only way we can ensure that the world is moving towards the green growth, it's by partnering. Today we have partnered with Kenyatta University Television so that we can raise this message to reach a lot of people. That is the only way people can participate. The United Nations is supporting the Kenyan government middle term plan because of the contribution of SDG 17 partnership. That is the only thing that we require now, and we are telling a lot of people to engage in partner and network.
Right. So it's youth partnerships, not only with the United Nations Environmental Program, but also in support with what government is doing in its efforts, as you've mentioned there in the medium term plan 4. This Green Jobs for Youth Pact, is this something that's being launched tomorrow? Someone might be asking themselves, I haven't heard of this before. Is this what the high-level roundtable discussion is about? Or has this already been there and now being ratified, and there's more that's being added on top of it?
For what I understand, for the hustler business plan, the better plan, they came up with, in the manifesto they were talking about how they will create 10 million jobs. So this is something that is continuing. It has not been there. It is the inaugural. Actually, the marketing, the emails are coming with the inaugural. It is the beginning of the working group. Actually, to emphasize on that, today, when I'm coming out from this show, I'm going straight to Strathmore. The United Nations high level, it will be for government officials, it will be for high level business officials. But today at Strathmore, the Youth Pact.
Oh,
Now
okay.
the Youth Pact will be laying their ideas, their insights at Strathmore University, and then it will be forwarded to the United Nations High Level meeting tomorrow.
All right, that sounds very useful. Getting those conversations actually show up in that high level discussion, which is something the youth have already discussed, as you've said, from today, and then being of course implemented in case of these stakeholders taking that into account. And this is coming very apt, given that on 22nd April, which is next week on Monday, right?
Yes.
It's going to be Earth Day. That is Earth Day for 2024. I'm already gearing up for something here by Ubunifu Hub, who are also looking to celebrate this, and I'm sure the Youth Green Society is definitely going to be celebrating that Earth Day, given that it's always a green morning for you and YGS. Now, given that we are heading towards that 22nd on Monday, and today you'll be at Strathmore, what are some of the things that we can expect the Youth Green Society to also put forth in the discussion today? And I'm sure most of your conversation, as always, has been around, protection of our natural resources, forestry. How are those efforts looking like as all these discussions are happening?
Thank you again, Richard. Now that you have mentioned Ubunifu, I want to say hi to my good friend Benson, the chairman of Ubunifu. Okay, today I have brought to Kenyatta University some essentials that will be drivers.
Okay.
Do you understand what is this?
Looks like plastic waste.
Yeah, close to
from
that.
From far.
This is actually rubber.
Oh, it's rubber, okay.
But
because it's dark, I can tell, yeah.
Yeah, but plastic is here.
Okay, so that's plastic and that's rubber.
This is rubber.
Okay.
So I have this.
Plastic.
This is plastic. Is it usable?
It is.
But what is the lifetime of it? Are we anticipating it will be like this? So what I'm saying today is that this bottle lifetime is not yet has not yet ended. You can still like today I'm going to use this. I don't go to conferences and then I use the bottles that are there. I just use mine. Even if I lose for 2 weeks,
you'll still, yes, okay.
It's okay with me.
Okay.
That's why I carry it.
Okay.
So Richard, what I'm saying is that the value chain of waste management can create a lot of jobs. Today I want to bring to you that here already we are having how many jobs if you look at them.
I'm seeing 4 jobs, yeah?
Yeah, here already 4 jobs.
Okay.
And
I see a job for,
jobs.
Yes, for the plastic bottle.
Yes.
I see the recycling of the rubber, the art as well, and then the plastic.
Collection.
Yes. And the plastic bag collection as well.
Who is talking about it.
Which is also a job. There's me who's also, relaying this information. Those are 6 jobs already.
6 jobs already.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is that as we go to the Green Job Pact, I'm calling upon youths to ensure that they collect as much waste as possible. Actually, the bottles are very useful. If you don't know where to take them, please call me with my number 0715 343 567. I'm always at Kariobangi. This is what we are making.
Oh, could you show it? Yes. Nice.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's a piece of.
I don't know if I have put
is that rubber or plastic?
This
yes,
is
the other side is the correct one, I think.
Yeah, I think this one is the correct.
Okay.
How do they, because
the other
of the
side.
design.
Oh, okay, the design, right.
Yeah.
Oh, so is this plastic or rubber?
This is plastic.
Oh, okay.
This is this one.
Handmade. Could you tell us a bit about that piece of artwork?
Okay, this piece of work is the airscapes, the ventilations. What we have done, we have collected a lot of plastics, cut them into pieces, plastic pellets, and then we have put them in a molder. That molded it, frozen it into pyrolysis, like a pyrolysis model that is going to be liquid form. So this one will be put in a shaper, where it will be designed into this flower. We have a lot of flower designs, not only this one. So the shaper has different designs, and this is the ventilation that you are sold almost at 150 shillings.
Wow. And you can make it from recycled plastic.
And as you're making it from recycled plastics.
Right.
With me, it is nail holders. You see?
I hadn't seen that. Okay.
Yeah, you see? Made purely from
Rubber. Okay.
Aren't they eco-friendly?
Yes. Very.
How many people have worked on this?
A lot.
You see?
Couple of jobs there. I see businesses. I see money there. I see art and business at the same time.
Do you know how much this is going for?
How much?
1 piece. 85 shillings.
How close to half of what you will get?
A new one.
Yes.
You see.
Okay.
So we are requesting that for sustainable development, even sustainable building, sustainable construction, let's consider these things because they are creating a lot of jobs. When now we go to Dandora, we're having a lot of youths that are jobless. Kazi mtaani iliisha because they were using that opportunity to collect a lot of litter and block drainage, but we are no longer having that.
Okay.
But this one is something that can create a lot of employment.
Yeah.
And
I see an opportunity for people in affordable housing. If President William Ruto is serious about it, should get the youth men to create ventilation systems from plastic waste.
Sure,
they're saving the environment, creating so many jobs at the same time.
Yeah, this is something that is so much possible and something that is being done.
Okay.
Because if it's not being done,
you wouldn't have it anyway.
Yeah.
Right. So when we say SDG champion, are these the activities of an SDG champion? Do I need to be doing all this so that I'm worthy of that badge that you're wearing?
Yes, you have to contribute to something, but already you contribute to awareness creation.
So that's already championship.
Yeah, championing.
Okay.
Yes.
Championing. Right. SDG champion. Please do let us know. They know about the forestry efforts.
Like I said last time when I was over here, I am still the cultural and natural heritage lead at City Park. Ecosystem restoration is one of the SDGs goals. The targets are not so much good because at least, I will say at least, I have seen the government of Kenya through the ministry, they are so much into fencing of forest now, but I don't know why the fever has not reached to City Park.
Oh, it hasn't yet?
It hasn't.
Okay.
We are still pushing on that because City Park is the heart of Nairobi. It is the heart of Kenya. If we start with the lungs and the heart is failing, what are we? We're
fencing a failing heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the good opportunity is that when we enable City Park to work as we have envisioned, the Constitution of Kenya is envisioning, we are going to have a lot of jobs. The user groups at City Park are beehiving and beekeeping. We have in waste management now that we have the Nairobi Sewerage Company, the Kibagare River, officially being the sewerage company. We have a lot of culture and art that people can engage. Now that City Park is a cultural forest, we are trying to remediate the forest through culture because we have in Joseph Murubi, the second vice president of Kenya, who is buried there. His good friend Pio Gama Pinto, the first colonial governor of Kenya, buried there. You see, so it's a rich
lot of history. Yes.
And now that the world is facing triggers of World War III, I'm telling people, please come consume City Park. It homes to World War graves. So if you want to remember what happened in World War I and World War II, visit City Park.
Right.
It will ensure people go away from these triggers of World War III. Yes.
That's a lot of benefit from, conserving that environment. You're conserving culture, you're conserving the environment, also just as a good social reminder of where we can go, the farthest ends of humanity's conflicts, as you've said there, with the World War graves that are there. So what is your call to action for City Park now, for the government and for key stakeholders?
The action for me for City Park is that our part as Kenya Forest Service, we have played an CFA, Community Forest Association. We have played our part. We came up with an exception meeting. We have come up with a 5-year master plan that is going to govern how City Park will manage for the next 5 years. But now the only problem that we are remaining with is the governor of City County of Nairobi. Please, Your Excellency, Johnson Sakaja, sign out and hand over the park to Kenya Forest Service. It's no longer a park, it's a forest. And it is of good importance. Now that Nairobi was ranked as the best city to visit in 2024. Why are people coming to visit here? The expressway that is blocking? No.
Definitely not the expressway.
Not the expressway.
Yes.
But the green heart of Nairobi is a good green space that people can visit with all the culture. Yes.
Right. So World Earth Day on 22nd is It's termed Planet versus Plastic. And you were telling me earlier that these are the kind of efforts that we can use to ensure that hizo vitu wanasema zina block drainage huko juu doesn't happen, right? And watu wanakuja to visit, they have a good time. Waki flooded hapo on juu on expressway, and they have something to go and, they have some place to go and relax in City Park, and also, to visit the history of Kenya. Maybe just lastly, as you're going to Strathmore today, is this an open conversation that is happening there, such that anyone who finds himself around that region can pop in and listen in on what you guys are talking about? Or is there some place that these efforts people can get to access and also follow up?
It's as long as it's not a high, it's also a high level meeting. We don't expect people to come in from anywhere and come. We must have decorum. We went for the online workshop that moved to the physical workshop. So it's a continuous process. But you can still join us in Facebook and all social media pages. I think this is something that a lot of people will be talking about, and the enthusiasts. What I'm going to, now that you have said about the Earth Day, a better Earth is also an SDG. So a better Earth is also a life
one of the SDGs.
Yes, life on land and life under the waters.
Yes.
So that is basically a sustainable goal. But now, Richard, what I want to bring to your attention is that we have moved from the goals to the targets, because the SDGs have targets.
So that you can attain the goals, we have targets to reach, milestones.
Yes.
Okay.
And after the targets, we're having indicators. And what I can say is that the indicators are not right, because we have done a little, so little. Saying that SDGs are remaining only 3 years, so that we can move to the other thing. You see,
that's not feasible, because I don't think we've achieved much in any of the SDGs.
Why I'm saying actually 6 years remaining, but
to 2030, right?
Yeah, 2030. But why I'm saying it's 3 years, because the last 3 years it will also be coming with another plan.
Another plan.
So we don't expect the last 3 years to
work. Right. So which means we've come to the end of the road now.
We have come to the end of the road.
Okay.
But the data says we'll be having more plastic than fish in the ocean come to 2030.
Wow, that's a sad statistic.
Yes, that's the truth. Because the tourists have already polluted the coral reefs. They have polluted the coastal with a lot of plastics. And I think these are things that, this one came from a hero to a villain. When plastic was being introduced, it was a hero, because people had no alternatives. But now it has become a villain.
Yeah.
Even in the house, even in the waste pickers who pick it, it is causing a lot of health uncertainty, because and actually, Richard, we have presented the circular economy for zero waste model, the YGA circular economy for zero waste model in this panel for a few years.
Yeah, you have.
Yes,
you
remember
have.
it well?
Yes, I do remember it very well. We went through it. We went over it a couple of times. Actually demonstrated it here with, I think, some items back then. Yeah.
With no fear of contradiction.
Yes.
I want to say that that model is the best in East and Central Africa. Not even the takataka with no any bad blood. Takataka solution, the leading waste management in Kenya, still is using a linear model.
And we need to move to the circular model.
Only with Green Society. And yet we are a startup. In incubation, we are having a circular model completely. Yesterday I was having Dr. Abesi from NEMA. We are at the Kenyatta University Energy pitch event. I was trying to listen to what she was talking about, material recovery. But as long as the government, these leading
organizations,
companies in waste management, who Richard, to be sure, I'm telling you, they are only serving 4% in the industry.
Right.
Waste management company in Nairobi
are only 4% in that pool,
including the county government. Only 4%.
That's very tiny.
So 96% is still open for
us, right?
You see?
Okay.
And that's the niche that you're trying to come up. And a lot of people maybe are not understanding what the circular economy model is for us. As you all know, waste management in Kenya has been cartel something. You see, cartelized. People are saying hii kazi ni ya cartels. But Youth Green Society is there not to be a cartel or monopoly the cartels, but to integrate and create one grid for all the cartels. Take an instance.
You're creating one WhatsApp group for all the cartels.
For all the cartels.
Okay.
Take an instance. Starehe constituency. How many Isili is well known. We have a lot of avenues. You know, this avenue, the waste pickers, it's not the same with this avenue. Why? Because you as Richard, you go to and tender for transportation of waste, because we are not waste managing in Kenya, we are transporting waste.
Oh wow, yeah. Waste. We don't manage waste, we just move it from one place to another.
We move trash to Dandora. So as long as you have your vehicles, and I have my vehicles, I will collect Avenue A, and you collect Avenue B. And we won't even know if it is me who have dumped
on your avenue,
on my avenue, or anywhere else, without taking to Dandora.
Okay.
Why? Because you have your truck, you do what you
want to do with it.
You want to do. But YGS is telling us, we bring a grid. The whole time truck system is monitored in one system, so that if Richards is moving along his avenue and finds litter on the second avenue, he has to collect it, because as far as you're just concerned with in the revenue stream, you're just concerned with the fees.
Yeah.
So you just collect and move.
Yeah. Okay.
You understanding me?
Right.
So the system will be controlled, even maybe the county government, and we are selling them for free. We don't have to.
You don't need to be the one running the system.
Yeah, we don't have to die with these ideas.
Okay.
It is better we solve a lot of health issues for the Dandora. You know, now people who are living in Dandora, Mathare, Korogosho, those people, their children will not even reach 50 years. Not because
of the kind of waste that they are facing.
Yes.
Okay.
The landfill. It has removed a lot of furans and dioxins into the air. The water that they harvest, the rainwater, it is full of pollution.
Right.
So how do you expect these people to live?
Okay. So you're saying that this one grid will be a very good solution for those and much more of the problems associated with waste management.
Yes, because with our model, Richard, why I'm saying it is the best in East and Central Africa, we don't have a Dandora in it.
Okay.
If you look at the Takataka solution,
where's the destination for this waste?
The last destination, it is an incinerator.
Okay.
A self-powered, smokeless incinerator that is also the bottom ash of the incinerator. And actually we are working on that in Kariobangi. It is just because the project is a high level, it's a demanding project, but already have consulted with a lot of light industry engineers at Kariobangi. The bottom ash of these diapers, these syringes from hospitals, they will be burnt down. This bottom ash, you can make it into pellets, into things like these ones, into fertilizer.
Okay. So even toxic waste can be recycled? It
can be recycled.
Okay.
As long as you kill it, you know.
Yes. You incinerate it, moto isha maliza kila kitu. Right. And now it's a new product.
Yes.
Nice. I like the conversation there on, you know, what your circular economy looks like, and I'm hoping that the stakeholders ambao wamewatch show can reach out and further develop it. As you said, si ati unataka kuifanya ati sasa wewe ukwe monopoly.
Monopoly. Yes.
We're trying to help everyone, and that's the point of, you know, environmental efforts, to ensure that kila mtu ana benefit, because it's a space for us all. And that's what is also going to be the conversation at the United Nations high-level roundtable discussion, which is happening tomorrow, 17th of April, 2024. Just one more to remind you that the Green Jobs for Youth Pact is a collaborative initiative between the International Labour Organization, the United Nations Environmental Programme, and the United Nations Children's Fund. It brings together employers, governments, youth, like they know here, education partners, to tackle the youth and green jobs deficit. The pact aims to develop 1 million new green jobs. And as you've heard, there are so many of them, even from YGS, that they're trying in their own efforts as well. Just maybe to round it up, they know discussion ya kesho na activities ya kesho, what are they going to look like? And then maybe you can send out one message ahead of Earth Day next week.
Activities za kesho ni creating a roadmap. We are creating a roadmap on how to benefit the youths who are in green jobs. What I can say this morning is to tell a youth, having a shop where you have bought unga, you have bought water from a distributor and you are selling, you're not adding value to your life. But having a startup, something that is new to your mind, something that you're creating and co-creating with others for production, that is the way to go in this world, this time in the world. Again, as sustainable development goals are what everyone we are looking at. As we go to World Day, I have talked about how to reduce your waste. You can do it from home. Stop mixing things in one bucket. If it is, even you have bought an avocado, we have Google nowadays. Germinate that avocado. Go sell to a landscaper. A lot of landscapers are along the roads. Go sell them. Tell them, nime germinate here. Give me even 30 bob. And then that person will get value on it because he will get a customer. Are you? Right?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that I'm just requesting the government, thank you so for opportunity of the green job and the pact, but for the county government of Nairobi, we are running a capital city. Please, 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 a lot of people are complaining about waste. Please call Youth Green Society on board. We are having technical solutions that can help you. We are no longer now trying to hide it behind because it's our innovation. We want to hide it because it's better. It reduces a lot of health issues in Kenya, and then you're good. Yes. When you find your country okay, you're at peace.
Yeah. Yes. All right. Thank you very much, Deno. And I'm hoping the governor is around so that he can get to sign off City Park and all those other things that you've said. You'll have to wait for him.
I know what I'm saying is that
about
City Park, we are not going to wait for him. We are going to use all means possible for him to release the City Park.
Speaking like the doctors on strike.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you very much, Deno. And of course, we'll love to hear from you once that conversation happens tomorrow. Next time we're here, we get to see what the roadmap looks like and what discussions you guys have had, and then how we can all join in the efforts, because that's the awareness we're spreading here on the show.
Thank you, Richard.
Asante sana. Now, on Saturday, 20th of April, 2024, I hinted earlier on, Ubunifu Hub is also having a look at most of those issues actually that Deno has raised there. Awareness on the health hazards of which are associated with single plastic use, the campaign for the end of single-use plastic. Awareness on the health hazards of plastic use, and then the campaign for the end of single-use plastics, and advocating, of course, as well for a strong UN treaty on plastic pollution, and highlighting the environmental impact of fast fashion. So there's going to be an awareness walk for all these issues. There's going to be an interactive workshop, which will be also about information on how to do sustainable agriculture and environmental awareness, as well as a talent concert. I'll be giving you more of this information as well on this show when we come back. Just taking a short break, and then Biashara Tuesday continues. Don't go far.
Is an app that gives you a chance to watch videos, listen to audios, and read articles wherever you are for free. Motivational stories, dramas, campus life, technology, lifestyle, adventure, sports, academics, jobs, entertainment, and more. Download Lola now on Play Store. All you need, you got Lola.
A loving husband and father.
Nothing is too good for my daughter.
An ambitious businessman. with a dark secret. A girl with a whole life in front of her, plunging into a marriage that she did not choose with the wrong man.
I'm not ready to marry Zeva.
But who is the right one?
I love Nambi.
A rock star living the dream.
But the babes keep chasing me, I guess.
It ain't easy being famous, especially with so many glamorous women around. A woman hell-bent on revenge.
He will pay.
Seductive, dangerous. She is a predator. Everybody needs it. Everybody wants it. They will do anything to get it. Love and wealth.
Tunachimba hadi mizizi kukuletea yanayojiri.
So mimi naomba tu serikali yetu ya Mungu, jibarikiwe na Mungu, iweze kuteremsha bei ya mafuta.
Yanayokukumba tuna maizi, tunakutetea sisiri. Ukweli ni speciali tukikupambia makala ya mwanamke mwake. Utasema hupendi mizizi ya habari. Nami Caroline Kimoi.
They are powerful and influential. They make decisions in politics, education, finance, agriculture, health, sports, and all aspects of human life. But the impact of their decisions falls on you, the common citizen. KUTV Primetime News Thursday. We ask bold questions and pursue answers to the core to bring you closer to the story. We couldn't have it any other way. Join me, Auma Evans, as I raise matters of social concern to raise your voice from the background to the foreground. Every Thursday and Saturday at 9 p.m. only on KUTV.
Hello everybody! Welcome to Engine, where we ask the coolest questions in science! Let's go! Is yogurt really just rotten milk? Why do humans need sharks to survive? How did a 12-year-old boy from Africa invent modern vanilla farming? How do you deliver medicine to a chimpanzee? Can poop be useful? How can you save the planet by reducing air pollution? To help us answer these questions, we are inviting some wonderful guests from the world of science. They will enlighten you, make you hungry for knowledge, oxygenate your brain, and make your ideas flow. This is Engine Season 3. Let's go!
Maisha yake amelelewa kama mtoto wa kike.
Levi Blessing, but basically people have known me before by the name Beatrice.
Akifahamika kwa jina Beatrice, baba yake mzazi akamtoroka kwa kukosa kuelewa alikuwa mtoto wa jinsia gani.
Usually told that, my father, separated with mom after, realizing that I'm an intersex.
Ila sasa anafahamika kama Levi Blessing na ana mke.
Now at least my certificate and my IDs now, at least they can lead the name Levi.
Fahamu jinsi Levi Blessing alikabiliana na panda shuka za utata wa jinsia na Midorodi Musyoka Alhamisi hii hapa runinga ya KU.
Ni kaunti maarufu kwa kuzalisha maziwa na ukuzaji wa majani chai. Pia, serikali ya kaunti inawahimiza wakulima kukumbatia mitindo mingine ya kilimo kuzidisha mapato.
kama kuna kikundi moja inafanya biashara ya kuuza kuku, hao pia tumewafadhili kuwafunza jinsi ya kuhandle zile kuku kwa sababu wanaleta kwa wingi.
Haya yote tunakuletea katika Boresha Kilimo, toleo la kaunti ya Bomet.
Kilimo ni nguzo kubwa kwa ujenzi wa taifa.
Tunachimba hadi mizizi kukuletea yanayojiri.
So mimi naomba tu serikali yetu ya Mungu, jibarikiwe na Mungu, iweze kuteremsha bei ya mafuta.
Yanayokukumba tuna maizi, tunakutetea sisiri. Kwa kweli ni speciali tukikupambia makala ya mwanamke mwake. Utasema hupendi mizizi ya habari. Nami Caroline.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audio-visual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Access to knowledge. Solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
Where we ask the coolest questions in science. Let's go! Is yogurt really just rotten milk? Why do humans need sharks to survive? How did a 12-year-old boy from Africa invent modern vanilla farming? How do you deliver medicine to a chimpanzee? Can poop be useful? How can you save the planet by reducing air pollution? To help us answer these questions, we are inviting some wonderful guests from the world of science. They will enlighten you, make you hungry for knowledge, oxygenate your brain, and make your ideas flow. This is Engine Season 3. Let's go!
has a birthday, and it's next week on Tuesday. On Monday, next week on Monday is the birthday for Earth. Kidding. It's a day to celebrate Earth and to ensure that we are conserving it and preserving everything that relates to matters of the environment. And I have here a very special invite that I have received from the Ubunifu Eco-Train movement. And they're doing this in partnership with the Ubunifu Hub, or the Ubunifu Eco-Train movement is there housed within the Ubunifu Hub. We've had Ubunifu Hub here before on the show to let us know, of course, of their efforts in terms of environmental awareness, sustainable development goals, sustainable efforts, and also now we have something happening on Saturday, which is an invite for a walk, a workshop, as well as a talent concert. So there's going to be information, entertainment, and as well as awareness. So all of these things that you need on a Saturday are going to happen, and you're very much as well invited. I have here with me the Secretary General of Ubunifu Eco-Train movement and also a representative from that very same movement. I'll be introducing them in a short while, and then we have a discussion on what is going to happen on this day. And then this year's theme being Planet versus Plastics. We had a discussion about the hazards of plastics on our environment, health hazards, environmental hazards as well. Seems the conversation is going to extend to World Earth Day as well. So we're going to continue, pick it up from where Deno left it, and also see what Ubunifu Eco-Train movement has seen is the issue with single-use plastic and also plastic in general. How can we have a plastic-free Nairobi? That's their key objective, so don't go far. Send in questions that you have. Remember, as in alignment with the discussion I had with Deno, which is under the Green Jobs for Youth Pact, trying to create 1.2 million jobs a year from the green space. And Ubunifu movement already clearly is one of those ways in which entrepreneurship, partnerships, and employment is happening within the green space. So if you want to tap in as well, kama uko na swali, tuulize. Let me bring the guest onto the show. So Biashara Tuesday is still live on air. The hashtag to use, the hashtag Biashara Tuesday, hashtag Rise Today, tag us at Richard_Okenye at KUTV Kenya. Alafu unatuambia una watch kutoka wapi, and any questions you have, who else you'd like to tune into the show. Mambo kama hayo. I see Simon anasema ako in the middle of examinations in Kenyatta University, lakini I still did spare a few minutes to see the conversation. Environment, oh yeah. Environment, oh yeah, I guess. If that's what you're going with. Asante for tuning in. Simon Gibson also tuning in from the CBD, Gibson Okwara. Asante for that. Ashley Asachi from Ngong Road. Habari yako, Ashley? Kunaendeleaje on your end? Josiah Bwire anatu watch also from Ruiru, Kenya. Lilian anasema hi, na hajasema kitu kingine. And then on X, I will also be sampling your feedback, so keep sending that, and also on the live stream that is there on YouTube, KUTV Kenya. Here with me is the Secretary General of Ubunifu Eco-Train movement, and also a representative from Ubunifu Eco-Train movement. So let them introduce themselves, do justice to their titles as well. Alafu, we get to know what is ready for us this Saturday, and also what we are celebrating in World Earth Day. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Yes, I'll begin with the lady. Habari ya kwako?
Niko poa.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please introduce yourself.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Sarah Kimaiga. I am the Secretary General of Ubunifu Eco-Train movement, and under the movement, I represent Najimudu Empowerment Initiative. It's so glad to be here. Thank you.
Let us know of Najimudu. to see brush under the carpet when you go to EcoTrain.
Okay, so Najimudu Empowerment Initiative is a registered NGO under the NGO Coordination Act, and we are also youth-led. We consist of youths, and another thing is that we are in the environment space. So we deal with sustainable solutions in their community, meaning that when we conduct a project or an event in a society, it's not a one-time impact, but rather something that will go on benefiting that society even after we leave.
Oh, nice. Continuous efforts. I'll be having a question on that, especially on the environment, how we can have continuous efforts in preserving the environment. Bro.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Please do justice to your introduction.
Okay, thank you. My name is David Kimani, and I'm a representative at Ubunifu EcoTrain movement. I'm the chairman of a group called the Visionarians, which is part of the 30 organizations that are forming the Ubunifu EcoTrain. Yeah, and as for me, the Visionarians, what we focus on 4 thematic areas, and that's climate smart agriculture, climate change, environmental conservation, and charity. Yeah, so on 20th of April, we came together and we decided to form an event where we talk more about the natural resources and how World Earth Day we can empower young people in the young generation on how they can end the plastic use and how we can nurture people to understand more about the food and also the environmental side and sector, everything.
Right, nice. I'm sure then you're going to be very relevant for that workshop, which I see is prepared on sustainable urban agriculture, which is falling in line with what you do. All right, welcome to the show, guys. So Ubunifu EcoTrain movement, a coalition of 30 youth-led environmental organizations. So I'm guessing those 2 organizations you've mentioned are part of this 30 youth-led environmental organizations. What are the other organizations in general looking like, if we can speak on that, Sarah?
Okay, thank you. Yes, we are composed of 30 youth-led organizations in the environment space. We come from various regions, from Nairobi and beyond. And another thing is that we are under the Ubunifu Hub as our main partners. We undergo various training programs on matters environment so that we get to know more about climate justice. So the youth organizations deal in various things in the climate space. There are those that deal with turning waste to art. There are those that deal with reforestation and tree planting. We have community cleanups and so on. Yes.
All right. So I'm getting that this is a mega organization of organizations and another mega organization, which is Ubunifu Hub, alafu kuna Ubunifu EcoTrain movement, alafu other organization of eco-conscious individuals. These are individuals who are, conscious about matters of the environment. I like it. Climate justice. Here, the collective mission that I see is change the damage. Kimani, labda, you can let us know, what does change the damage then? What is this? What kind of a thought process are you trying to inspire when the collective mission for all these organizations is change the damage? What is the damage that you're trying to change?
The damage that we're trying to change is more about the waste management and how, especially the Nairobi County and the Kiambu County, how they are going to manage this waste and turn this waste into opportunities. And also, how are we going to make sure our natural resources, especially the river ecosystems, because we can find most of the plastics and all, most of the waste managements are deposited directly into the river systems. And the river systems, they move up to the Nairobi River, and the same that the water that is being used for irrigation and other commercial purposes is the same water that we will be also consuming, let's say in the food sector. So the change that we are bringing is the damage that already has been occurring for so many years, and now we are coming in as a movement to emphasize and to empower the young people and every community to understand how we are supposed to move from one step to another.
All right. And I'm sure plastic is like a big chunk of this waste, right? So Sarah, and it comes very apt in this year's theme, which is planet versus plastics. Is there a war between the planet and plastics?
Yes.
How's that looking like?
Very big war. So just to give you some history, plastics used to be and sometimes is a good thing in that it can be remolded into so many things. But with time, the once thought good thing has not started being bad.
Right.
In that we know that plastic takes time to decompose. So that leads to environmental problems like global warming, and even for the plastic that does decompose, it decomposes into microplastics. So you find that you're either drinking it, eating it, or breathing it, and that escalates down to hazards like your health, even animals, and so on.
So you're telling me if I see a plastic bottle for drainage, should hold on to my chest because my lungs might be affected next. That's the kind of health hazards you're
And
facing.
something quite interesting is that it's not just in the health aspect that it affects you. When we start looking at things like diseases, we have seen resistant diseases coming up due to things like clogged ponds. So you find malaria is becoming resistant. We are having an increase in respiratory infections like asthma. So such things, in one way or the other, they do link up to plastic pollution.
All right, that is quite a scary situation actually, if you think about it, and we just casually throw around plastic. And then this being now a war, planet versus plastic. Kimani, I have a question here then. We already did ban the single-use plastics, but it seems that bado tuko na shida. And I wanted to ask Dennis Kimani, who came off air in the previous conversation, but let me ask this to you, which is then, should we ban all of plastic? What they're doing at Youth Green Society is they're finding ways then of trying to convert this plastic either to art or to other, non-conventional things that maybe we haven't thought about. Should we, because these have been efforts for a couple of years to ban single-use plastic, but we still have a problem with plastic. Should we completely ban plastic and then find other things to do, or how can we reduce these health hazards?
I believe the best way we can reduce these health hazards is to first of all create awareness to every individual. It starts with every individual. Then from there we can move from to the community to the national level. So what we do is we are coming up as a movement. We are coming up with various designs and products that we can use to eliminate the plastics and use them instead. That will be eco-friendly. The other thing is on the changing this everything and putting the dynamic to every person. We need to make people to understand more. We cannot ban them like on a single day, and it cannot take months or years. It will take maybe decades, but we can reduce the time duration to a short time if we instill the knowledge, especially the health hazards knowledge, and how people they're supposed to take care of their health. Yeah.
All right, and that's what is happening. And the plastic collection initiative. Let us know about the plastic collection initiative. Is it also around collection of plastic and the campaign still on the end of single-use plastics?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so the plastic collection initiative will be the activity that will be commencing our awareness, our work. And just to highlight something about World Earth Day, is that the day emphasizes to all people, regardless of your gender, your age, your race, your geographical location, that you have a moral right and responsibility when it comes to environmental protection. So an interesting fact about that day is that it was commenced in 1970 by a Harvard graduate. Talking of that, 4 years down the line, it's now one of the most attended public secular events in the world. So for us, we'll commence the day with a plastic collection initiative, and during that work, we will, besides collecting the waste, we'll also be echoing the sub-themes of World Earth Day. The main theme of World Earth Day is planet versus plastics, but we have other sub-themes that also need to be highlighted.
Yes. And those will happen on the day. So for people who want to what these other themes are, they can show up as well. This is an open invite. We'll get to look at what people can expect for that day. But I had already talked to you just a bit on fast fashion, which is among those things that you're trying to also talk about, highlighting the environmental impact of fast fashion. Maybe you can let us in kidogo. What is fast fashion for someone who doesn't know what that means for them?
Okay. So fast fashion is the situation, or rather the process by which we are creating so many clothes based on trends, and even as the buyer, you are consuming them based on what is trending in the market. So it ends up accumulating, and we get ourselves into a situation where it's the third world countries that get much of the dumping of the fashion waste. So fast fashion is all about that. You are consuming a lot to the extent that it becomes waste. Besides that, the fashion industry itself, we have so many plastics that are consumed in the process, and all that it builds up and contributes to the waste.
All right. So those addicts of Gikomba and toy markets, yeah? You are contributing to the environmental impact of fast fashion. It's like fast food for watu wa luku. So, think about the environmental impact of that as well. The day, bro, let us know. On Saturday, 20th April, 2024, what kind of events, what is the flow of events that's going to happen there on the awareness that is planned by the Ecotrain movement?
The event will be at Temple Art Studio. That will be Lakisama Kasarani. And at there we'll have our main workshop, which will be more on agriculture, climate smart agriculture and vertical farming and urban farming. So there we'll create awareness to all the invitees that will be coming on how to grow your own food organically. So that's one of the main things that's a big solution to our country and to the global. The crisis of food shortage is a very, very major thing. That's linking up with the environment. So what we do is we are coming up with different products and designs of how to train people, because normally people in the urban sector, people do plant their own crops using these vertical farming designs, maybe like the stories and the other designs. But as an eco movement, we are becoming more innovative and more brilliant, where we are coming with other designs like hydroponic solutions, where you can grow your own food even without soil, without the need of soil, and also how you can use the little space that you have at your own compound or at your area to grow as many food as possible. The food that you also share with your neighbor, or you also sell them to your neighbor, it also create a sustainable livelihood to the young people and also to the children, because we are impacting this knowledge most likely to the children, because they are the future generations. And we want them to know how will they grow this own food organically, and how are the benefits of consuming organically made food.
Okay.
Yes.
As a consumer of organic food, I think that's something I'm excited about. Now, umesema that it can be done in a small space, right? So pale kwa singurumi yangu ka balcony hivi naweza eka some food there.
Unaweza panda sukuma, tomatoes, all of the vegetables and some fruits, and you believe it will be sustainable to you. Now by that it will save time, money and energy for you looking for good food.
I'm really interested actually.
Thank you.
I'd love to know how I can do but maisha imekuwa expensive bana.
Yeah? Maisha ni expensive.
Let me save environment pia nikisave tumbo yangu.
Exactly.
At the very same time. There's going to be a talent concert. I see here to celebrate artists. What is that looking like? How is that looking like?
Yeah, so during also the event, we also want to nurture different talents where we'll meet with artists. If you're a young artist out there, you can come, and also we can show you how you can use these plastics to create art, and also this art that you've created, how will it link up to food? Let's say if it's the single-use plastic or plastic water bottles, how can you use these Coca-Cola bottles or water bottles to create something that is so much productive to the ecosystem and also to your health individually.
Okay.
Yes.
Very nice. So please do show up there and see the various, artistry that will be showcased, artistic talents, music, dances, and much more. Sarah, here's a question I ask everyone when we have a conversation about the environment for the first time on this show is, why should I care, man? The future generation, probably by the time I am dying, the earth will still be standing. Hata kama pollution itakuwa imezidi, mimi nitakuwa ninaondokea anyway. So to be very honest, there's a bunch of people with that kind of attitude. It's like, man, I really don't care. I'm like 70. I have 20 years left. Who cares about how much single plastic is blocking the expressway. I don't even use the expressway anyway. Yeah. So why should we care? Yeah, why should we care?
The thing with the environment and the climate space in general is that it affects everything, everything. So even when it comes to matters accessing something, let's tuonge in layman, we have seen someone complaining, I can't go a certain place, iyo jua yote. That's climate. That's climate. And let's talk about the health, how it's affecting your health. Let's talk about food security. So it touches on everything. Recently in Uganda, there was a school that was closed because of global warming. Like, it's so hot, people are just, you can't concentrate.
You need to go home.
So that shows you that if it's not affecting you, it's affecting someone. And that is why even as a movement, it's us as youths who have decided to be at the forefront of advocating for climate change. Because some of these effects we're seeing now, they have built up over time, and we are the ones who are disproportionately facing the repercussions. So we have to be at the forefront, and even workshops that invite young children are very, very pivotal in this, because they're helping even the younger generation to be part of the change.
Right. So pale ukijambia hii jua ni ya mvua, sijui mvua ni ya jua. Those are the
kumenyesha January, that's climate change.
Yeah, we actually did talk about that here on the show some few weeks back, when there was like different climatic conditions or weather conditions for January and February in Kenya. It was extremely hot at some point as compared to previous years at the beginning of the year, and it was clear from scientists that indeed these are the effects of climate change.
Yes.
And we need to think about climate justice. Right, there are opportunities in entrepreneurship, employment. Is that something that any of you can talk about, Kimani, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah. What is the opportunity, especially for the youth? When we talk about something, it's nikifanya hiyo shughuli, kuna venye naweza pata kakitu, ama kuna venye nitaweza develop. And this being Biashara Tuesday, I can't avoid a question on financial empowerment. Is there avenues for opportunities in employment and business?
Yeah. So personally, let me talk more about the agriculture sector, because that's more, we are facing a big crisis on the food. We are having a food shortage in the country and also the global. Yeah. So what I can say is I would like so many people, especially the young people, to learn how to grow their own food. Because one thing I know is whoever controls your food controls you.
Yeah.
So if you can learn how to the art of food production, it's very, very, especially the safe food, not just genetically modified food. The safe food is very, very marketable in such a way that if you promote the safe food, every human being wants to consume something that's productive to their own body.
Yeah.
So let's say, for example, if you are a youth out there and you are lacking any income and you want to get in this space of green jobs, what you can do is you can go and start creating this vertical farming and learn about the urban farming sector. Learn how to grow some certain plants and seedlings. Go and do it to someone who you know, maybe within your area code. You can start with that, and then from there, or you can also create maybe a small garden out of your maybe balcony, or maybe you have a land or a small area where this food that you're growing, you can also sell it to the market area.
Yeah.
It will bring some sense out of it, to your pocket. And also the main thing is right now, if you promote the agenda of safe food, I guarantee you it will bring money. There's money in food. Every human being will eat food.
Always.
No matter even if the story of artificial intelligence coming in, there will be no jobs, but human beings will
always eat. AI will not
always eat. So
they will not replace food.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Okay.
So if we jump into this sector as soon as possible, it's a very, very major, it's a very big step to everyone, I believe so. And we are here as a EcoTrain, we are here to train people on that.
Okay.
So worry no more. Our social media pages are already there, so we'll be teaching people how to do all of this.
Okay.
And also we want to make sure people that the cleanliness around their area, as long as they are doing the farming, we are nurturing that the natural resources of your community, let it become the best.
Okay.
Let's if it's the rivers, the institutions, let's plant trees.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. We are creating opportunities, but also taking care of the environment at the same time. They know Dennis Kimani, who is the chairperson of another organization called Youth Green Society. Pia alikuwa ametupatia one tip there, which is in that balcony space, you get seedlings za avocado yenye umekuwa ukikula kila siku. And then, you know, once they grow out of, you can still use a plastic bag. You're saving the environment and also using it there as part of your, you know, garden. And then when they get to a certain height, you go sell them to, you know, the roadside, you know, sellers who are either dealing in flowers or plants or, you know, small seedlings. So there's a lot of opportunity if you also involve creativity in how you think about it. People who want to be part of EcoTrain movement, SecGen, is that open? Ama mshakufunga 30 youth-led mmeingia, so 30 under 30. No more.
No, haijafungwa. You can be part of us, but currently we are still formulating policies around that, so as to serve as an umbrella for everyone, regardless of the movement you're coming from. So yes, it's open. With time, we'll release mass recruitment and open spaces for people like to join us. We're already getting so many inquiries about that, so it's coming.
Oh, nice. Very nice. So ndio watu kama you know, nataka kuanzisha their own initiative, they can also come through, get training, learn from individuals who've already been in the space, right? So just a reminder for people that on Saturday 20th April 2024 at Temple Arts Center in Lucky Summer, there's going to be that awareness walk to commence with an advocacy walk from Safari Park to that studio, Temple Arts Studio. And they will engage in awareness, including plastic collection initiative, campaign for that single-use, to the end of single-use plastic. Advocate for a strong UN treaty on plastic pollution. I don't think we've talked about that. You want to handle it? Advocate for a strong UN treaty on plastic pollution. What is the advocacy around this about?
The advocacy is mainly to phase out single-use plastics, and not just in one country but globally, so that we don't end up having a situation where one country is dumping in another country in one form or the other, including fashion. Yes.
Very nice.
So
very
it's
nice.
more of a global collaboration in this.
Okay, I like that. So that's the awareness walk. That's what will happen in the next awareness walk. There's going to be an interactive workshop as well, as has been mentioned there, vertical farming and information on sustainable urban agriculture, an art workshop designed to nurture creativity while fostering environmental awareness, a capacity building workshop aimed at equipping attendees with actionable skills for environmental stewardship, and then a talent concert. So usitoke concert peke, kuja the whole activity, alafu fike hadi mwisho. For people who want to take part as well, Kimani, maybe you can let us know of that. Kama nataka kushow up on Saturday, what should I do? How should I go about it?
Okay, so the event will be starting at 7 a.m. at Safari Park. We're having a walk from Safari Park up to Temple Arts Studio, Lucky Summer. Yeah, so we'll be gathering together and we'll be having this walk where we're collecting these plastics and all that.
As you move to the studio, from town to studio?
Yes.
Not from town, from Safari Park.
From Safari Park.
From Safari Park, yes.
From Safari Park.
Yeah.
To Temple Art Studio. Oh, Safari Park, just right here on Thika Road.
Yes.
Okay, nilikuwa nimeona Uhuru Park, kama nilikuwa nimeona wapi. Yeah, sure. So from Safari Park to Temple Art Studio, along that way. So nikiwapata njiani naweza join in and we do all that together.
Yeah.
Okay,
we're inviting everyone.
Yeah. Okay, that's the, like, it's very up to the name, EcoTrain movement. It's like,
we are moving.
We are moving together in this train of eco-conscious individuals. Thank you very much, guys, for creating time for us this morning, letting us know of your EcoTrain movement. And I did see that the chairperson is Mwihaki Njogu, who has been my colleague here as well. So I just want to give a random shout out to Mwihaki Njogu, wherever she is at. One last remark on climate justice for the people at home. Maybe it's a call to action for them to think about the environment, to think about plastic use, or just anything on climate justice. I'll start with SecGen, Sarah.
Okay. My call to action will be to everyone. Be part of the change. So let's hold hands and create a sustainable future and a greener planet.
Okay. Kimani?
Yeah, well, my call to action is to tell people live in a healthy area while you're consuming healthy foods. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like where I want to live, man.
Yeah.
A healthy area with healthy foods. That's short statement, but laden with a lot of information. Debbie Rono, learning a lot on the show. Asante Debbie for watching. Mugeni Nelly, it's nice seeing young people participating in eco-friendly activities. How can I join you? Tushajibu hiyo? Yeah. How can you join them? They'll be releasing information on mass recruitment, but you can join them on Saturday for that activity. Here, go open for you. So Mugeni Nelly, show up at Safari Park 7 a.m. Lafu pia unaweza reach out to their social channels. If we can get that. Yeah.
Currently, our most active social media account is Instagram, so you can find us there at ubunifu.ecotrain.
All right.
Yes.
ubunifu.ecotrain. Type it out on your Instagram and then reach out to them on any queries that you have. Jilo Mamu, caring and loving the environment means taking responsibility for its well-being. Every action, no matter how small, can make a difference in preserving and protecting it. Yeah, so every small action that you do is going to be very useful in our collective efforts in trying to take care of the environment. That's the conversation that you've had here with Ubunifu Eco Train Movement, which is in partnership with Ubunifu Hub, and they're doing a lot in raising awareness towards plastic pollution. Planet versus plastics, this year's theme in World Earth Day of 2024. Guys, maybe if there's people you'd like to thank for the partnerships or for anything or a shout out, this is the chance as we close it up. Maybe Kimani can start it, alafu tumalize na Sekjen kwa sababu wako hapo juu.
I would like to thank everyone that will be coming, first of all, because you're much welcomed. I also like to thank Ubunifu Hub because they have given us this space to empower more people, because they gave us the skills they empowered us with all the skills. So we also like to empower other people. That's why we formed the Eco Train. Yeah, so I wish to welcome everyone so that we can meet on Saturday, and then from there we can have more personal talks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Kimani, anyone you'd like to... Sarah, anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, just to echo and to add to what my colleague has said, I'll also thank all the youths in the various youth groups in the movement. Thank you for your youthful energy and your vibrance, as well as your ideas. We also want to thank the local government, especially at Lakisama Temple Arts. They have been really supportive, and they will actually be part of the event. And everyone is welcome. Do join us.
Okay. Please do join them. Again, reminder, it's Saturday, this Saturday 20th. And that's going to be in preparation for Monday, World Earth Day. Thank you very much, guys, for creating time for us here. All right, so going to take a short break. Alafu nikunywe maji, and then I'll be back with another heated discussion with Nick Mwadime Mwangi. Nick Mwadime Mwangi, I'd like to know if he has any positive things to say about the turnaround in the economy. Clearly, the Kenya Kwanza government is happy with the drop of electricity prices, drop of unga prices, the strengthening of the shilling, drop of fuel prices. I mean, I'm guessing for the first time, Nick might be smiling here. Maybe he will thank the president for once. But I'm not going to speak on his behalf. He'll be here in a short while, accompanied with Margaret Kiune, Deputy President of the TVET Students Association. We're looking at the headlines of the day from the Business Daily, the Daily Nation, and the Standard. If you have any other out there, let us know what that looks like. I'll be right back. Don't go far.
Kaunti maarufu kwa kuzalisha maziwa na ukuzaji wa majani chai. Pia, serikali ya kaunti inawahimiza wakulima kukumbatia mitindo mingine ya kilimo kuzidisha mapato.
Kama kuna kikundi moja inafanya biashara ya kuuza kuku, hao pia tumewafadhili kuwafunza jinsi ya kuhandle zile kuku kwa sababu wanaleta kwa wingi.
Haya yote tunakuletea katika Boresha Kilimo, toleo la kaunti ya Bomet.
Kilimo ni nguzo kubwa kwa ujenzi wa taifa.
Maisha yake amelelewa kama mtoto wa kike.
Levi Blessing, but basically people have known me before by the name Beatrice.
Akifahamika kwa jina Beatrice, baba yake mzazi akamtoroka kwa kukosa kuelewa alikuwa mtoto wa jinsia gani.
Usually told that, my father, separated with mom after, realizing that I'm an intersex.
Ila sasa anafahamika kama Levi Blessing na ana mke.
Now at least my certificate and my IDs now, at least they can lead the name Levi.
Fahamu jinsi Levi Blessing alikabiliana na panda shuka za utata wa jinsia na Midoro Musioka Alhamisi hii hapa runinga ya KU.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audio-visual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Access to knowledge, solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
What are some of the ways through which you can develop these skills so that you are comfortably fitting into the job?
You have to put yourself in positions where you are uncomfortable. Uncomfortable in the sense that you are not clear about what to do.
Because I used to work a corporate job before. So when I left, I happened to visit someone's farm around this area.
So this project is called Security Breach Detector and Can Familiarize. It is meant to be used to detect, detonate explosive.
We'll tackle all the tough issues, discuss all the weird moments, and hopefully share a few laughs along the way.
Lola ni programu inayokupa fursa ya kutizama video zozote pindi tu unapokuwa na nafasi. Hadithi za kukupa motisha, drama, maisha ya vyuo vikuu, teknolojia, masuala ya jamii, kuzuru maeneo tofauti, spoti, burudani na zaidi. Pata programu ya Lola sasa kwenye rununu yako kwa yote unayohitaji.
Welcome to Engine, where we ask the coolest questions in science. Let's go! Is yogurt really just rotten milk? Why do humans need sharks to survive? How did a 12-year-old boy from Africa invent modern vanilla farming? How do you deliver medicine to a chimpanzee? Can poop be useful? How can you save the planet by reducing air pollution? To help us answer these questions, we are inviting some wonderful guests from the world of science. They will enlighten you, make you hungry for knowledge, oxygenate your brain, and make your ideas flow. This is Engine Season 3. Let's go!
Technology, science, innovation, ICT and research. These are the ingredients upon which the solutions to the 21st century problems are founded. In a world that is rapidly changing, it's all hands on deck to ensure a balance in all fields of life. Young and old are also in the front line, breaking the glass ceiling, becoming thought leaders in the larger tech space. Not forgetting other societies marginalized. And when the tech Avengers come together, we inch closer to a much safer, efficient, and sustainable world. What we view as a norm in today's advanced world was just an idea, and for nostalgic reasons, we trace back to the iconic days to bring you the retro tech. On Tech Innovation Show, we encapsulate all the pillars of the fourth industrial revolution, decoded in a language, all for one for all. Every Monday at 8:30 as we push the mantra, keep learning something new each and every day. Only on KUTV, a new experience.
Big farms buying Kenya's carbon credits revealed. That's the Business Daily. Carbon credits are in matters of the environment. Netflix, Apple, Shell are among the multinationals which are eyeing Kenya in matters of carbon credits. Some Kenyan credits sold in compliance markets. So giant US companies are top of the list of global players who are seeking to get some of those things that are coming out of carbon credits. Results here show that in 2022, Kenya was the second largest issuer of carbon credits in Africa. And I'm sure now, given that the president is the chairperson of environmental efforts and climate change in the African Union Commission, we are likely probably the top issuer of these carbon credits, but I'll be getting that correct information. And also showing here top buyers of Kenya carbon credits on the front of the Business Daily. So it's Delta, up top, Netflix, and then the rest are following. The countries which are also on the top, the country that is actually at the top of offering this is Uganda, and then Kenya is second as of 2022. Alafu Kenya zinafuatana hapo in terms of carbon credits, yeah? So we'll let you know what carbon credits are in case haujui mambo gani hayo tunaongelea. The Daily Nation has a Atwoli at the front of the dailies, and the headline there is Why Atwoli is Under Siege. Combative veteran trade unionist Francis Atwoli is between a rock and a hard place, with things starting to align against him, from a new push to halt private guards, quota deductions, and a bill seeking to end his long career, to criticism over his lukewarm stance on workers' issues from an opposition he dumped after the 2022 elections. So that's the face of Francis Atwoli on the front of the dailies. He sided with Azimio going into 2022. Akasema they will not believe it, but then he switched sides immediately after the general elections. and dumped the Azimio coalition. The Standard, united by fear factor. Here are faces of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula. They held a meeting to discuss government agenda at a time where the two leaders are under political pressure. One political pressure is for Moses Wetangula to fold his party and join the UDA party as one single coalition. Rigathi Gachagua, his position as second in command comes under threat given that kind of coalition, one single party under UDA. What will be the fate of Rigathi Gachagua? United by fear factor. So that's what is uniting Moses Wetangula, who is relentless actually against folding his own fourth party. Lafu DP Gachagua, we said he doesn't have a party. Therefore, his fear factor is that once Moses Wetangula folds his party, then he becomes second in command. Will he? In the backyard of Moses Wetangula, kuna mashida pia between him and Trans Nzoia Governor Natembeya. So we'll be having a look at that. Those are the headlines. But before we get into more stories, let's introduce our panelist of the day. And I'll begin with the fresh face on the show on my immediate left. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Yes, please introduce yourself to our viewers.
My name is Margaret Kione. I'm the Deputy President TVETA. I'm also the Secretary NYSLF, that is Nairobi Youth Student Forum. I'm also the Vice Chairperson of Othaya Comrades Association. Thank you.
Okay, because I'm thinking we might not find time to get into the details of the organizations you've mentioned, maybe just a highlight. We know of TVET SA because of Kimani Wachira, who's been here very many times before. How about the other two organizations? What are they concerned with?
Okay, with the Nairobi Youth Student and Leaders Forum, we work on to ensuring that the youths in Nairobi County and maybe other parts of the country are getting whatever they want as young leaders and as young comrades. We also have this organization taking place and ensuring that we talk about mental awareness and job hunting issues that are facing our youths nowadays. And also at Othaya Youth Comrades, Othaya Colleges and Universities Association, we cater for all the comrades alongside or across Othaya. Thank you. Yes.
Right, so very concerned with the matters of the youth, championing them in every space that you're in. Very glad to have you here, the Deputy President of TVET. Rigathi Gachagua of the TVET.
Thank you.
If I have to add it like that, you'll get to see what are the woes of the other DP as well here. Nick Mwadime Mwangi. Sir Nick Mwadime Mwangi.
Yes,
Good
sir.
morning, brother.
Good morning, brother.
Yes.
Good to see you, Richard. My name is Nick Mwadime Mwangi. I'm the National Executive Director at Mount Kenya Colleges Universities Association, and I'm also the chairman of the Youth Jubilee Party, Nairobi County.
Okay.
Yes.
Welcome back to the show, man.
Thank you.
How the people of Kasarani?
The people of Roysambu.
Of Roysambu.
Yeah.
Apologies, man.
You want to take me to a different corner?
Ni kwa sababu side yenye mimi upitia nikikuja ina change every time, yeah?
I want to know what Karori has done to your pocket.
Yeah, you're saying this is a sponsored conversation.
Is it Sport Pesa or is it the money for CDF?
Yeah, don't bet on it. Don't bet on it. Now, let's get into the details of the day. Now, before the details, actually, let's begin with the headlines as usual. I'll begin with our new face on the panel in a short while, actually. But let me go through again the secondary stories before we chambua the main stories. The secondary stories here on the Standard, we have a big sex trade happening in massage parlors on page 8. So massage parlors disguised as, or sex dens disguised as massage parlors. So page 8. Page 4, medics are planning weekly protests. KMPDU still on strike, going into the 4th week, the end of the month actually. So we're going into the 2nd month of KMPDU strikes and clinical officers as well. Business page 25, Nigeria claims they wanted crypto boss in Kenya. So there's a business story there on crypto in Nigeria and in Kenya. There's a face or a picture of Helen Obiri, who defended her title at the Boston Marathon yesterday, while also compatriots Sharon Lokedi and Edna Kiplagat took second and third positions. On Sunday, we had that Beijing half marathon, which happened and also came with its own controversy, and we'll be discussing it in a short while. It was won by a Chinese who was allowed to run, apparently according to the video surfacing online, was around to go ahead of the rest of the finish. And then second was tied with Ethiopian Dejene Hailu and Kenyans Robert Keter and Willie Manangat. So that's what is happening on the standard. The Daily Nation, secondary stories which are there, the wage bill crisis. There's a conversation happening at Bomas of Kenya, and they're pushing for a single payroll, as well as asking that there will not be increment for any government or any civil servant, because we are trying to live within our means. Yeah, so the wage bill inafaa kupunguzwa, hakuna mtu anaongezewa mishahara. So whether you're a doctor or not, SRC and Felix Kosgei pia wanakuambia hautaongezewa pesa anytime soon. Heavy rains are wreaking havoc across the country, and that's also on page 10 of the Daily Nation. Nick Mwadime Mwangi, if I can begin with you, and then we get the sentiments of Margaret. Ni headline gani hapa leo ina make sense? Because according to me, to be very honest, I will say none. And I have my reasons after uniambia unasemaje.
I think I agree with you, because the Daily Nation and the Standard, somehow they have a tie. Because people are really interested why Atuoli is quiet. And also people are seeing the looming fear between Papa Roma and the man from Nyeri. No, the man from Nyeri. You know, the man from Mountain is Muthamaki, my party leader, right? Okay, right. Yes.
Apologies.
Yes. So the Business Daily, well, I'm glad finally they had our proposal of changing the picture.
Yeah. Okay. Thuge will not be very happy about that.
Yes. But something interesting about the Business Daily, still nothing much about it, and it doesn't give the gist of what we wanted to hear about the Business Daily.
Yeah.
So I'm also in agreement with you. Today,
wameanguka wote.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's a tie on the Standard and the Daily Nation, because they are on personal affairs of individuals and the government.
Yes.
And then the Business Daily is talking about carbon credits. Also, not so much of business because it's multinationals. So pia hapo editor ameanguka.
Yes.
Right. Let's get to hear from Margaret. Do you think of the same, or wewe unaona there's a favorite headline?
I also agree with you.
Okay.
These are all personal issues they are tackling. Yeah, I also decide that this is personal.
This is personal.
Yeah.
The Daily Nation is very noisy as well. Nick, kama ume notice hapo, stories plastered all over. Yeah. It's like they keep interchanging, yeah?
Yeah.
Who's noisier the next week?
It's a crisis, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they are torn in between, because what Atuoli is supposed to speak about is wage bill, and also what the chairperson of the
SRC.
Yes, still the same thing.
Yeah.
They need
so
to
maybe
choose.
We should have had the SRC story at the top.
No, they should have had Moses Kuria.
Why Moses Kuria?
He's a Minister of Public Service. Yes, or the Minister of Labor, because apparently the Minister of Labor has been really been quiet.
Yeah.
Because in as much as we are all directing our machine guns to Nakumincha, Nakumincha's jurisdiction only end at some certain level.
Yeah.
So the Minister of Labor has to come out and give out a clear indication.
But didn't we do the reshuffle so that we make sure Moses Kuria haongei?
Moses Kuria is the minister, is the cabinet secretary of public service.
Yeah.
So is somehow an quote unquote HR.
Yeah.
Right? And HR and probably the PS is called PSC and Labor should sit down and agree on the wage bill, because the doctors have been on the street about the CBA of 2016, and we know that a CBA only lasts up to 2 years, right? So from 2016 to to 2024, you do the math, that is up to 4 CBAs. And if the 2016 CBA has not been honored, it strikes a looming fear on the nation,
on the civil servants,
because this is just one wage bill. We've not gone to the teachers.
Yes,
Richard.
Right.
And it is sad enough that.
So they're sending a warning shot to all civil servants.
All civil servants.
Right.
Yes.
Margaret, when we look at the front of the Daily Nation, as aptly as Nick has put it, it's matters of the wage bill. So Atoli, who's supposed to taking care of issues of salary, remuneration, and of course benefits to civil servants in the Republic, and Asiege will get into his own personal problems, but the wage bill crisis, which has been a conversation from when President William Ruto stepped into power, saying that one of the things that we'll do to reduce our our debt burden, our expenditure, ni kuensure kwamba tunapunguza wage bill na tuna reduce how much money we are sending out or we are giving out to our civil servants. But I feel that this is a tactic, though the SRC isn't, doesn't speak for the president, but I'm feeling still this is a tactic to a warning shot to all other civil servants who might want to join doctors who are on strike. So instead of addressing the doctors head on, I feel like this is a way of telling the doctors plus any other person who wants to join the doctors that hatuna pesa for you. But you find that there's CASs, there's other positions, so kuna pesa ama kuna when you look at it.
One thing I can say is that there is money, because you can't tell me that a certain governor is purchasing a seat worth 600K and is not able to pay the doctors. No, there is money. Yeah. That is what I think, and the doctors should be given whatever they want. Yes, you look the other day, there is a certain doctor, certain intern, who posted to us that her net worth was 200K before the government cut, and when you cut off the tax, the amount she was remaining with was 139,000. So it means the government, the taxes took almost 61,000. So when you tell us right now that we're paying the doctor 70,000, and then we're going to cut the taxes also, it means that this intern is going home with less than 10,000. We have money, and they should be given their right.
Right.
Yeah.
Nick.
Yes.
The government is saying, well, yeah, we have money, but we only have this much. So tafadhali, accept very little kidogo kwanza as we try and figure out to raise more money for you. And this is the message they're sending out to unions, be it KMPDU or the unions, be it NAT or any other person who might want to now come out to the streets and say, pia sisi tunataka pesa. Should the unions be a bit more tolerant with the government's terms?
Well, I'm looking at it, Richard, on two ways.
Yeah.
One, the issue about doctors, either the county and the national government, has been ongoing for a long time. That the jurisdiction needs to be very clear right now, Richard, because the doctors are needed to pay to give their services, but when it comes to certain issues like wage, how they're supposed to get paid, the conversation changes. Governors are saying it's not our responsibility to add you more money, and national government are saying, look, health is already devolved.
Yeah, talk to your governors.
Talk to your governors. So it's a back and forth. So we need clear policies, and I'm throwing the spanners to our MPs, the legislature. They need to make clear laws that at this stage, this is where the county government comes in. At this stage, this is where the national government comes in. Secondly, I want to totally disagree with the issue what the government are saying, that they don't have money. We seriously cannot play that card. They seriously cannot play that card, because if there's 1 billion shillings to renovate State House, if there's 1 billion shillings that are getting lost in the Ministry of Agriculture, where fake fertilizers are given, right? We seriously cannot play that card of there's no money. And then 3, if they insist too much that there is no money, then they seriously need to work on the cost of living. Because Because the only reason why I will want a pay increase if there is so much burden on
my pay.
On my pay.
Yeah.
The issues of taxes, the issues of how I'm supposed to survive, the issues of education. Because at the end of it all, these people are asking just to be human because they got bills to pay.
Right.
The more the bills and the little the salary, the more anxiety you're creating in the nation. And I told you, Richard, before, at the end of it all, we have to picture what is the real issue that is causing this storm. And I told you before, people are getting agitated. And we had this conversation beginning of this month. We said doctors will strike down the street.
Yes.
We said teachers will strike. They've already started the conversation. Because the issues that are patent to teachers, doctors, or even civil servants are very important, because these are people who wake up very early in the morning to give the services to this government. And they should be very lucky.
Yeah.
And the government should be very lucky right now, because the man that this country has really depended on the issues of human rights is busy going
to the AU.
So they should really be happy. Be it so, if he comes back, it's going to be a lot of chaos.
Okay. So at the center of the conference, which was on wage bill happening at Bomas, there's data here that I want to read out to us, and then we can get to know if a unified system is going to help, if reduction of the wage bill. Wamesema, well, basi ni sawa, tuko na pesa, lakini hapa ndo pesa mingi mali inaenda, right? So these are the figures. Last year, the public sector wage bill of 1.1 trillion was 46% in taxes collected by KRA. I mean, 46% of taxes that KRA collected last year zilienda kulipa public sector wage bill, which is rolling up to 1.1 trillion. This means that the government spent 274 billion on salaries and allowances over and above what the law permits. Kenya's public sector currently employs close to 1 million workers who are expected to use 1.17 trillion in salaries and allowances in one financial year. So wanasema pesa iko ni sawa, lakini pesa mingi yenye tuko nayo tunalipa watu ambao wanawasaidia collect hizo taxes. So if we are having a crisis, Margaret, where salaries, the biggest amount of expenditure that the government is doing is towards remunerations, salaries and allowances. And they're telling medical interns, as you've mentioned there, ile 206,000 mlikuwa mnalipwa, hiyo ni mingi sana. Wacha tupunguze, ifike 70,000 kidogo, at least tupunguze hiyo pesa. And then KMPD is up in arms, right? So we have teachers who are also, having their own issues, and will likely be in the streets soon if our predictions are correct anyway. So we have a crisis in the health sector. We have a crisis in the education sector. I'm not even going to mention others which might come up anytime soon. What can we do to have a sober conversation? Is it your way or my way? Because that's what the government feels like. That, with KMPD, it's either their way or nothing else. And it's the same thing with the government. And I'm sure that will be the same case with NAT. What can we do to ensure that we are reducing the wage bill? Because hata mimi nitafurahia kama country haina burden sana, because my taxes are easier, but also to ensure that hakuna mtu anafinywa in the process. Is there a middle ground?
One thing I would like to say is a good leader listens to the people. Yeah, at least you can get to hear what the people need. What do they need? Are they suffering? Are they struggling? Yes. Are you giving them enough that can sustain them? Or are you giving them something that won't even sustain them even for a day or even for a week? Yeah? Do they have the bills they should also pay? Do they have other responsibility? Yeah, we should think in that criticality that we should sit down and come up with now roles or new laws that will cater for everybody. Yes, we correcting that the government is saying that the doctors should not be in strike, or they should not be on the roads asking for whatever is theirs. But on the other hand, they asking for their rights. So I think we should come at a point that all of us should agree that this is my right and I should get it. And yes, there is money. Yes, we said that the government is saying that the money they collected was used to pay those who collected the taxes or the whatever.
Yes.
What about the doctors?
Yeah.
Yes. What about the teachers when they agree they also want to go to the streets? Yeah. Are they now coming to tell us, are they going to come and tell us, to tell the teachers that nyinyi pesa tulikuwa tunawalipa, we also reducing it? Are they trying to pass through that road, or are they trying to tell us something else? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we should get that it is.
And the rights of an individual, I agree with you there, because I always say as well that the rights of an individual supersede all of the other rights. So if you have doctors who need something implemented from 2017, as you said, that's their right. We are not going to again negotiate about your right, because this is something that you already are provided for in the Constitution. And Nick, hapo umesema policies, right? Policies to ensure that when it comes to this issue, ikifika ni mahali ya kuimplement 2017 CBA, ni nani anafaa kuitake up. So does it mean we have a gap in the government where basi hakuna mtu anaelewa ni nini inaendelea?
You know what the doctors are saying, Richard? And or probably all the public servants, they are saying that this government came for our head, but we were quiet. This government came for our hands, we were still quiet. This same government touched our waist, we were still quiet. The doctors are saying they are now at our private parts. How can we be quiet?
Right. So we should join them.
Richard, no matter how strong and comfortable you are, when an ant touches your private parts, you cannot stay comfortable.
So no matter how comfortable the rest of the Kenyans feel, the plight of doctors is still there.
It's still an issue.
Yeah.
Because, Richard, I want you to imagine the common facility that we all know, Kenyatta Hospital, Mama Lucy, right? Those are the main hospitals that we know, Richard. They don't have doctors. How many Kenyans are dying?
Many are being attributed. The deaths are being attributed to the strike. I
want to challenge the media, the Daily Nation, the Standard. They need to report, because Kenyans need to know that this is a serious issue. That thousands and millions of Kenyans are at stake.
What is Atwoli saying about all of this, given that he is supposed to be taking care of the needs of the doctors? Here on page 5, he's seen, addressing stewards at a Solidarity House in Nairobi. And earlier on in the previous week, he had come out among his very first statements. Swali ya kwanza aliulizwa about the renovations that are happening in State House, pointing out that, of course, President Ruto can't also stay in the same state of a house that President Kenyatta, the first, pia alikuwa. So we have to renovate that. And he's saying that we don't really have enough money. That money isn't enough to give the doctors. Raila Odinga has accused him of causing up to President William Ruto. And here, in his own very statement, Atwoli says, Ruto is being sincere. He's trying to be honest with what he has. With what he has, he means the resources of the nation in distribution matters. But then that honesty should be translated into something like an agreement. We have to find a way of this. Mr. Atwoli doesn't seem to know that there's already an agreement, CBA, Collective Bargaining Agreement. So I'm not so sure on what other agreement he wants the workers who are under him to also go with President William Ruto. He seems to want a new CBA between President William Ruto and the doctors. Who will fight for the doctors?
Well, Francis Atwoli seems to be very comfortable with his position. I heard him that recently on JKL that he's up for election come June. And he seems to forget that his main mandate is to fight and solidify the rights of workers, whether in private sector, in public sector, or in any formal or informal sector. That the main mandate of KUTV and its constitution is very clear that the SG, Francis Atwoli, is supposed to fight for the people. And it is very quite clear, and I want to agree with the ODM party leader that Atwoli tactics have been known over time, that he's always in bed with the
government of the day.
Government of the day. That is where he makes his daily bread. But we know that labor unions, since Tom Mboya, because Tom Mboya was once a labor unionist, and since his reign, that labor unions across the world, they put the government in check, especially on matters of workers. He seriously needs to sit down and read the Employment Act of 2010. He seems to have to forgetting what it says about.
Or seems to not know.
No, he knows,
he
because
knows. So this is as always, you know, you say
he's been there for a long time. I think since 2004. It's now almost 20 years on his tenure.
So in 20 years, this man has not been fighting for the rights of workers.
Now in 20 years, I will say, how he started fighting for workers, he was doing very well. But along the line, he became too comfortable. He forgot that the people are the
who put him there.
You understand?
Yes.
It's like right now, President Ruto seems to have forgotten the hustlers.
Yeah.
Because the hustlers, he campaigned in that narrative that right now we are talking about wage bill, right? He used to complain about positions, increasing money for the rich. But what is he doing right now?
Yes, the office of the spouse of the deputy assistant.
That is money to create that office. There's money to create an office of whatever.
Margaret.
Yes.
Atwoli, a man under siege. Before we get into his personal issues, this is a man, as we've said, for 20 years, he got comfortable along the way. And he should be on the streets with the doctors. If you're talking about KMPDU, which is a union, and his KOTU, which is, a union, he should be on the streets. But he seems to be going on the opposite direction, while doctors are going on this direction, or while workers in general are going in this direction. So, again, who's going to fight for the doctors at this point, or for the workers in general?
Let me first even stress something you just said, that people are comfortable. No, the people aren't comfortable. They're going to these hospitals, they're not finding doctors, so they're dying. So the people are not comfortable. Again, on Atwoli, you remember this guy, every morning he would wake up and ask, what are you saying? But nowadays, we even don't hear that narrative again.
Yeah.
Yes, he became comfortable and forgot that he needs to fight for these people. Yeah, he became so comfortable that he forgot his role. He should be in the forefront when the doctors are saying they want their money.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't need a trade union leader who is in bed with the government, as Nick has already pointed it out. Is it high time we get a new face? Maybe the chairperson of the KMPDU should take up this role, given elections ziko near. Young people, is this our chance, Nick?
We should run for them.
Yeah?
I will not propagate that narrative, Richard, because that narrative is very dangerous, because at the same time, young people, when are given opportunities, they'll end up doing the same.
Usiseme even this show is watched by young people from all across the Republic.
Because I assured you, most young people are given opportunities, and at the same time, they forgot what actually we're fighting for.
So what's the concern? How do we fix it then? The old guards are failing us?
No. We need to fix the law, Richard.
Okay.
We need to fix the
policies. So the issue is not the person?
The issue is not the person, Richard. We are targeting the wrong, how we are targeting our fights is quite very wrong. We need to build our laws to be very strong to protect us, Richard. Issues of wage bills, issues of health policies that need to be fixed to protect us.
Yeah.
That who's to be taken accountable, Richard.
Yeah. Because at this point, we actually, it seems with the ongoing strike with doctors, we don't know which finger to point to.
Exactly.
Is it Ruto today? Is it Nakumisha tomorrow?
Atwoli will come out and say, I'm not in government. My main work is to fight for you. You guys don't pay me. You understand?
But then he doesn't fight.
You understand? He'll come out clearly and say that. But who will challenge him? And that's what we are saying. Our laws and our policies need to be very clear. Right? Yeah. No matter how hard you want to say, we need to change the person. Because when in 2022, Kenyans were convinced that Ruto is very young, very capable.
Oh, is it the young people you're talking about?
Yes.
Who are
He is very
Okay.
capable. He said that the old people, they should go home. The old people, they should go to Bondo. They should go to Ishaweri. But these old people seem to be going to Addis Ababa.
Yeah. Ni kama Bondo change direction.
So you have to understand that
Yeah.
the forest is the same, right? The monkeys keep changing here and there, but our issues on the forest are still the
Yeah,
same.
so we need to work on this forest.
Yes.
Yeah.
And people seem to forget, and I keep saying, the power belongs to the people.
Okay. Talking of monkeys in a forest, there is page 6, a story on Wetangula and Gachagua, who have met amidst this pressure to wind up Ford Kenya. So the meeting is coming in the backdrop of this emerging political rebellion, which has been christened Tawe movement. So tumetoka before Tanga.
Yes.
And then what was the opposition to Tanga? Or it was just the government and the Tanga?
Yes.
And now we have Tawe movement. DP's allies have defended the move, saying it should not be misconstrued as a strategy for 2027. This was the same tone with DP Ruto back then. You know, sima wanatuita Tanga, but sisi mambo ya campaign. And here we have a statement from UDA SecGen as well, Cleophas Malala, saying that since he comes from Western and being an elder brother between the two by a dint of governing the ruling party, he has invited the two leaders together for a truce. So when he mentions a truce and the two leaders are saying there's no problem, clearly if the SecGen of UDA mentions a truce, there's a problem between DP Gachagua and the National Assembly, Moses Wetangula. What's at play here, Margaret, when you look at this story, given that, you know, it's also about Mount Kenya region? I'm sure that is the looming fear of DP Gachagua, you know, his control of Mount Kenya. And then, of course, President William Ruto likes the company of Moses Wetangula, given that anampatia vitu kutoka the Western region, which also has quite the numbers. What do you make of this story?
Okay, let me say this. With the DP Gachagua, what he should be concentrating much about is the Mount Kenya region. Yeah, he should be up and down to get together the leaders who all come from Mount Kenya and also the people of Mount Kenya. Yes, because maybe at a time when it comes, that is where he will run back to. Yes, they saying they should wind up about the Ford Kenya, but in a particular or in a personal approach, he should be at Mount Kenya, where he should be now familiarizing or getting back together his flocks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something that Martha Karua lacked. Ama utaki kusema hiyo.
That's a very dangerous loop to jump in, Richard. You don't want to be caught on record. However, on the 9th of April, the Star newspaper printed should Gachagua run for president 2027.
Okay.
And the politics of the day loom that his backyard is on fire. And we have seen the young man from Kiharu, Samson Dindi Nyoro, looming or going everywhere within the parts of the country, trying to propagate as a better proposition of deputy president. That is why the Daily Nation are saying it was a meeting of united fear. If you read the...
Oh, it's the Standard, yeah.
It's the Standard,
yes,
right? The Standard are saying the united...
United by fear factor.
Yes, that's why Gachagua is in fear. And then two, the governor from Trans Nzoia, Natembea, has been tembearing
on the western side.
On the western side, starting the Tower movement. However, on a lens kind of projection, you see, when you see dogs barking, you need to ask yourself, who's their master? Who's their master?
Okay.
And to me, I see this is a move by the President William Ruto.
Yeah, speculations are showing that President William Ruto is the one funding the Tower movement.
Exactly.
He's a man of movements.
Exactly. He is coercing Wetangula to fold his party. Understand? He's doing everything by all means to make sure that Wetangula goes into UDA. At the same time, he's trying to put Rigathi Gachagua in check by using Ndindi
Nyoro.
You understand?
Okay.
So people are looking at this on a different angle. Totally. And the politics of the day, they need to ask themselves, who's the master?
Who's the master?
Who's playing the piper?
Yes.
So, and one thing I know about Moses Wetangula, Papa Waroma, he's a bully himself. If he did not manage to get bullied by Raila Amolo Odinga when he said things would be messy, there would be tears.
Yes.
When he was a minority leader in the last August House.
So definitely President William Ruto won't be the one to
he will not
make
succeed.
him cower. Yes.
And you see, at the end of it all, he's also trying to use Musalia Mudavadi in the same analogy to fall his party, because it is a way of bringing the Western votes 2027 in the same bucket.
Okay. Margaret, the efforts by President William Ruto politically so far have pointed towards him wanting a one-party state. If statements from his people, just yesterday, the member of parliament, controversial member of parliament from the Western region, who's been involved in a gun incident before, Kimilili, member of parliament, said that, wachana na 25 years, sasa 50 years, ndio tunataka UDA tawala 50 years. We saw the other week as well, a billionaire coming out saying tupatie 25 years. Yeah. Last year, there was another statement from one of the members of the UDA saying, we are talking about, extension of term limits. Here, President William Ruto is requesting that all the other parties within Kenya Kwanza fold into one party. Are we rolling back our politics from from where you stand as someone who's been involved in the political space, even at your capacity? Are we moving forward or are we moving backwards? Because it's supposed to be multi-party democracy. We should allow everyone, to try and practice party democracy as much as possible.
We're moving backward.
Yeah.
Because if you look and see, it is the responsibility of each voter to know whom they want. Yes. So you can't come just and tell us that 50 years. No. Tukirudi pale kwa ballot, ni sisi tutaamua who is the next. Yeah. It is according to how we see you've done your work. Yeah. If it is so pleasing, then we give you another chance. If it is not pleasing at all, then you don't require another chance. Yes, we must be democratic. This is a democratic country, so we must be democratic. Right. According to the parties, we're moving backward. We need these more parties because they champion the change. They maybe one party is doing the wrong thing. The other party should come forward and say that this is not happening. Yes, there should be these more parties, because if we just have one party who will be in the other party saying that things are not going well. Right. No, we need these parties.
And right now they have a majority in parliament, in both houses. So what happens if, let's say, they want to extend the term limit then? And we have President William Ruto ask the members of parliament and those in Senate as well, it's like, let's pass a new bill.
Well, I want to correct your statement, Richard. The UDA, by de facto, they have the majority. By de jure, they don't have. The Azimio coalition beat them to sleep. However, I want to take you back down the lane of history. 1992, we did a repeal of Section 2A of making Kenya one-party state to a multi-party state. And that's why we moved from KANU, there's Ford. There were so many parties that came in after that process. And then secondly, we cannot move to a one-party state because there's an official government office called the Office of the Political Party, the office of the Registrar of Political Parties.
Yes.
Not unless we dissolve that office, Richard. That's how we can go back
in time. Yes.
In time.
Okay.
Thirdly, the lawmakers who are in parliament can do very little to increase the term limit of the president. We have to go to a referendum to change and repeal the term limit of the president in the constitution. But right now, don't listen to people speaking wedding
Those are
funerals.
distractions.
Those are distractions, Richard. I told you these people are good at creating distractions.
Okay.
They need to create distractions on issues that are really important, like medical doctors. That's why they want Kenyans to talk about the issues of term limit. Like, seriously, Richard. Issues that are very serious. We cannot talk about term limits right now, and there's doctors on the street.
True. You know, I had an issue also with President William Ruto talking about Kenya making its own Mercedes-Benz. I don't know if you saw that statement when he was in West Pokot, saying very soon we'll have our own Rolls-Royce, we'll have our own Mercedes-Benz.
Yesterday.
And he's saying this in the middle of West Pokot where there's insecurity.
Yesterday I was in the office, and we were discussing this issue that he was saying that before alikuwa nasema tutatenga milioni 5 kwa mtu anayeuliwa na ndovu. So I was just thinking in my head that he's telling people that you need to get killed first so that you can come for this 5 million.
You need to die to get it.
And you know that most Kenyans actually don't realize that. Even so, if it's very feasible, it takes up to 10 years for you to get that money. Richard, by the time 10 years is done, there's already a sitting.
Yeah, it seems that the tactic by the Kenya Kwanza government is you have to die before you get any service.
They create distractions and distractions and distractions, so that we don't focus on the real issues on the table.
Okay.
Nobody's talking about the education sector, Richard. There have been so many dropouts. There's looming increase of insecurity by young people because of lack of jobs. Richard, we cannot all go to the construction site. She's a biomedical engineer by professional. I'm a chemical and petroleum engineer by professional. You are a civil engineer by professional. We cannot all go to the construction site, Richard. We need doctors on the hospitals. We need teachers
in classes.
Right. So those are the issues that this government promised the citizen. Right? And we are so busy, Richard, focusing on coming 2027 and 2032 that
we are forgetting where we are.
You understand?
Yeah.
And because earlier you said that the dollar has gone down.
Yeah, I wanted to get to that because it's 9:52 in the morning, and I want to hear your sentiments. The dollar is down, even though wanasema, but
he's on record. He's on record. The president is on record. He said that the dollar going up had nothing to do with what?
The Kenya Kwanza government. Yes.
He's on record.
But going down,
you cannot take credit where it's not due. He's on record saying that he did not do anything to put the dollar down. The dollar went up as a result of Ukraine and Russia war. Right? Today, Israel and Iran are going at war at each other. What happens next? When we don't have rice?
We have consistently been putting the government to task here on this show. Nick being, at the forefront of these efforts. Saizi shilling imeshuka. I was trying to tease him earlier, lakini haku fall into that trap. That the shilling is, strengthening against the dollar. Bei ya unga ilishashuka bana. Mafuta nayo imeshuka. Si tuko vizuri ni nini?
Okay.
Can you pat the Kenya Kwanza government on the back?
No, let me ask something. Yes, hatukatai imeshuka. Yes, it is down. But for how long? Yes, for how long?
Well, for now, we can enjoy.
No, for how long? Are we going to stay maybe in the next 3-4 months or 5 months or 6 months? The dollar then is up again. Yes. What are we going to say next? Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
That's going to actually change by June because this was money raised for that euro bond.
Of course.
Even so, Richard. I don't hear Ryan tapping you on the back when you do your job. You understand? The government
he was going to after this show. Now
when you do extremely, you see. Let me tell you, when if they are saying that this government was in a mess.
Yeah. So why are we clapping?
Yes. Why are we clapping?
Yeah. Okay.
You understand?
Maybe Uhuru Kenyatta has finally spoken to his enemy. Akawambia watulize because the shida za hii government is metoka from
those people right from the top. They are trying to fraud Kenyans.
Yeah.
They're trying to con Kenyans. It's the same con game, con languages, right?
Yeah.
And we will not relent. We will not be cowed. And we are telling them that let them do their jobs.
Right. And we hope that they do their job. It's 9:54 in the morning and our job is almost over here on this show. Maybe just to congratulate people on the
Sports, yes.
Sports section.
There's one.
Sports section.
There's one lady called
Helen Obiri.
Helen Obiri.
Yeah, please do. Take charge.
He has defended her title.
Yes. 128th Boston Marathon.
Yes. And also in the men category, there's one man called Evans Chebet.
Yes.
Who won the bronze medal.
Yes.
So,
and then we have a comical story I wanted you guys to also mention. Congratulations to them in the
yes.
That was the Berlin Marathon.
Yes.
But then there was also the Beijing Half Marathon, which happened on Sunday, and there was a very interesting scenario there. Margaret, if you can start with you. Unajua vijana Kenya tunapenda kusaidiana. Tukiwa huko Beijing wakikimbia, there's a video showing that we were supposed to win, but then there was this Chinese man.
This Chinese and the black guy
slowing down huko mwisho. And then tukakumbuka kuna deni ya jamaa.
I was reading it on the Twitter.
Mtu hawezi kupea deni alafu anaona una prosper. So unamwacha. What did you have to make of that very funny situation?
This is weird, by the way.
Yeah?
This is so weird. Yeah.
Very weird.
I could see those videos and Kenyans. Hata kama ni kulipa deni si hivi.
Tunalipa sana. Yeah, but it shows that, at the very, the way I took it, it's, at the very base level, we as Kenyans have a very good heart. Yeah? See what Nick doesn't seem to agree. My producer also doesn't seem to agree.
Well, one thing I see in that story, Richard, is because the world is, when you look at the world right now, it's everywhere seems to be burning.
Yeah.
But Kenyans are saying, let us make humor even in our darkest time.
Yeah, well,
that's what I got from that picture. Yes.
Yeah,
and
okay.
it's a funny meme that this guy runs very fast, then he remembers,
mse wa deni yako nyuma. Finance. Nimeacha sponsor.
Naambiwa na rais, wewe unajua umeharibu maneno.
I want us to finish with a editorial cartoon on the Daily Nation by Dula. It's Japhet Koome. I believe that's IG Japhet Koome.
Yes.
Who's pictured there. Police disservice. Utumishi sio kwa wote apparently. Lawful picketing is unlawful. Aliwaita a nuisance. Unapiga kelele Nairobi City wakati unafaa kurelax na kumeditate na kuangalia dola inaelekea aje. Any interpretations from either of you on that cartoon or a comment as we close up?
Madam President.
Umeangalia hiyo akuonyesha hiyo image uone unasemaje?
Yes.
What do you make of that? Medic amekonda pia. Hiyo ni kitu kingine ni notice. Medic amekonda lakini Koome representation of Koome so that I'm not caught on record. What do you make of that?
This is shame.
Yeah?
Yeah, this is shame because this maybe he could look himself as a patient. Where would he run to? Yes.
Wow.
As a patient,
Yeah.
where?
Yeah.
Yes, it is the person standing in front of him. Yes.
And then the roles would change. Yeah. So for now he feels like he's on a throne with all the power. Na kuna rungu yake hapo kando. But then when he's sick, all that hiyo rungu na power itamsaidia.
Sure.
For sure. Thank you for that interpretation.
Well,
Nick,
let me just tell Koome, do your job. The bandits are killing people in the North Rift. Do your job, man. These shenanigans that you're doing don't make sense because we know the Constitution. The lawyers know the Constitution. They have been empowered by the Constitution. Picketing, demonstration, peacefully have been empowered by
the Constitution.
Yes.
Entrenched.
Few months ago, they said that we people from Azimio are violent, going to the street.
Yeah.
The doctors are moving very quietly and very professionally.
He's calling them a nuisance.
Yes.
All right, guys, 9:59. We have nothing much more to say except just closing remarks. Let me get Margaret to read us the quote at the back of the Business Daily. Alafu tupatie a goodbye statement. Alafu nifunge.
How you gather, manage and use information will determine whether you win or lose.
Right, and that's a quote from Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Yes, please let's get it again.
How you gather, manage and use information will determine whether you win or lose.
Thank you very much, Margaret, for creating time for us this morning. Margaret is the Deputy President of the TVET Students Association. Maybe just one actually we are past time. We are past time to be on air. Just one statement, a closing remark, and a closing remark.
Okay, first I would like to thank everybody for tuning in and watching us. I would like to encourage everybody out there, keep pushing, keep going on. Better things will happen. We say that in every no, there is a big yes coming on. So keep pushing and all will be well. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you so much, Richard, and also all the management of KUTV. Let me pay patronage to my national chairman, Faris Jen, and the people of Resambo. And to remind all the youth, as we say, Richard, it is hope against hope.
All right. Thank you very much, Nick Mwadime Mwangi, National Executive Director of Mount Kenya Colleges and University Students Association. Mine is brief. Please have yourself a great week. Continue tuning in to KUTV Rise Today. Biashara Tuesday has been on air from 7 to 10. We'll be back next week, Tuesday. Monday, Karen Blessing, anakupatia that art and culture. Alafu the rest of the week, tuna interact on social platforms at Richard_Okenye. Remember to make profit. May they be high, but your jokes zikuwe a level higher so that you're laughing all the way to the bank. I will see you around.
Spend weekends in my car, see me come teja. Floya kukufanya use machine come tena. Don't fall in up with a breeze when I smell. It may mix na shash but you really can't tell. Check black jochin. Window nili tint kabla uhamie mjini. Ngumu resist, easy fly kama mimi.